Sometimes I wonder that story of his alayhi salam.
Yes.
There's a part, the young boy, his alayhi salam, takes his life.
Yes.
Trying to understand, what should I understand?
Don't kill your children, please. Don't kill other people's children, please. Okay? That is a lesson. There is a lesson. Meaning that what we see is not what it is. You understand? What we see is not what it is. What we see, we can think that something, that child is not just a child, it's representing something. You understand? So, it represents us just judging someone from the outside form, which is all humans they do. If this person is good looking, he's good. They did so many studies. They say that people who are good looking, they can go further in life, right? They get the best tables, they get treated very nicely. This is human nature. And people who is looking not so good, who is old, or who is this, or who is black, or who is colored, or who is what, they treat them very bad. And Islam is saying, don't. Whatever that you're worshipping there, that represents that thing that you think is good, that has to come down too. You have to discover what is underneath. Don't you see, after 2,000 years, great Christian nations, they still cannot get over race. They still cannot. How can it be? Because, number one, they made the prophet that they worship, instead of making him to be from the race that he belongs to, that is Bani Israel, they make him to be a white man. From the get-go, they say, no, we want to worship not you, to look like we want to worship ourselves, what is most familiar to us. Then it's done. That's why they're going everywhere to, in the 1800s, 1700s, selling them that form of religion, and people who are foolish enough to believe that, then they look at every white man and they say, this is Jesus. They say, they call Jesus Senor, they call the white man Senor, right? This is some sort of a thing where you have to get over this. You cannot separate yourself from other people. They're the same. And reason why Allah make you into different colors and different tribes and different nations is for you to learn from each other, not for you to kill each other. It's to learn. Meaning that one has a secret that you don't have. You may look down on that one because it doesn't have, let's say, tall buildings or clothes even. Modern man looking at people who are living in the tribes, living in the jungles of the Amazon, for instance, look down on them. But they have secrets that you don't have. They know the secrets of those jungles that can solve so many of the diseases that for free. Those kinds of diseases that we make it into a industry to produce those diseases, and an industry to produce the medicines for that. So everyone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a secret. That you meet someone who's different from you to learn. What is the secret that my Lord has put into this person? I must learn. And you take that and you become what? You become more complete as a human being. You have somewhere to be? Okay. You understand? So it is not like that. Literally, it's meaning like that. And because people, especially for Akhir Zaman, when they look at something that is nice, they say, no. This person is good. Even if the person is a criminal, but he looks nice, people go crazy after him. You've seen that? This thug, this murderer, he has a lineup, and they take mugshot. Usually mugshot very ugly, but this man, Allah gave him that physical appearance. And he takes that, and the women go crazy after him. He's a murderer, but they're running after to be, I was going to say politely, to be his wife, but such a thing exists anymore in this society? No, just to be like animal to him. So now we cannot trust these eyes. We cannot overdevelop these eyes. We can trust these eyes if these eyes are going to tell us that there is something else. There is a sign of that vision that is over the surface. You understand? Okay, physically, you say, okay, that one is good, but look at this, look at this, look at this. Once you start seeing with the eyes of the saints, even if outside is good, but you see all these other things and you see what other people don't see. And then you say, oh, this is bad. This is not good. People are seeing a great, let's say, saint, or Shaykhul Islam, or Imam, or whatever, speaking to thousands of people and pointing, and the skies crack open, and they say this is a karamat. We see that too, but we say it doesn't fit from what we know of situations. It doesn't fit. You understand? It doesn't fit. So it is not something that your faith can just accept. It's something that there's something wrong here. And Shaykh Effendi pointed, he said, look at this, look at this, look at this. Yes, he's pointing, and there is something that is written in the skies there. But he says, look at the clouds. What does it look like? Shaitan. Look at this clouds next to that name. What does it look like? It looks like Shaitan leading Dajjal. This is open. I'm seeing with my own eyes, Shaykh Effendi is showing us. What is the direction of this world? What is the direction of this world? To develop this or to develop this? We don't need to develop this more. It's enough. We need to always develop this. The eyes of the heart. To look with the vision of a believer. For that, you have to be trained under a believer. You have to be with them. You cannot just read books. It doesn't work. Never works. Read books. You can listen to lecture. It doesn't work too. You have to put that lecture into your life. So especially for these days now, people are just looking on the outside. And even, we come to the point now, even outside looks good, which it doesn't really. And they know that the inside is bad, yet people are still running after it. Because it feeds to their ego. Then we have very, mashallah, merciful Muslims that they look at, we're saying this one is evil. Don't say it's evil. It's evil. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he's going to be higher station than you. They mix everything up. I'm not interested in his potential. I'm interested in the damage that that person is doing right now. Ever in this world, you hear person does something wrong, and ever you see either the police or the judge or anyone that's seeing something wrong, and they don't punish that person, and they say, but who knows? Maybe Allah is forgive him. You don't know. It sounds stupid, right? Forget about killing or something. Traffic ticket, speeding ticket. You get a speeding ticket, you have to go to court. You ever have a speeding ticket, you go to court, and you say to the police officer, but you don't know me. Maybe I'm a beloved one to Allah. Maybe Allah will make me to be the CEO of all the car companies in this world. You don't know. Why are you judging me? You don't think that way. But Muslims who are mixed up and they don't have guidance, and they don't know how to look at haqq as haqq by the people of haqq, and they don't know how to look as batil by the people of haqq, then they're going to look everything through the eyes of batil. And through the eyes of batil is what? Shaitan is saying, your Lord is most merciful. Do anything that you want, meaning do anything that you want, commit as much evil as you want, and don't worry, Allah is going to forgive you. And Allah himself is warning us not to do that. Shaitan will say that, Allah is saying, and don't do that. So wake up a little bit for all of us. So that is the lesson to be learned from that. You understand? And that these three things that Hazrat Hizr alayhi salam was doing, this is not for common people too. His murid is not a common person. There's only a handful of Ulul Azam prophets out of 124,000 prophets. And he didn't do too well. You understand? 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes out. So this is taken as a lesson. But in order to actually do those things, it is not for the common people too. That lesson is also for leaders. That lesson is for people in authority. The lesson is for sultans and padishahs. That you have to do things sometimes for good and it looks bad. It looks bad. And it is a lesson for the awam to know when people of authority and high intelligence and high spirituality, they do something like that, understand the reason for that. Understand the reason for that. Don't just judge it according to the surface, because it's not what you think it is. As it is today, how many awam people, they are just judging what the sultans they were doing, what the padishahs they were doing, what the generals they were doing. They can sit around and say, oh, these Muslim kings, if only they stop fighting each other and they just come together as friends, you can do so much more. Do you say that when you have a fever in your body? To tell your body, stop fighting. When you have a fever, your body is fighting, right? Your body is fighting that enemy. Why don't you just say, just be friends with your enemy? What happens when you're friends with your enemy? What happens when you're friends with your enemy? The enemy becomes your friend. When you're friends with that enemy, the enemy becomes good like you. When you're friends with your enemies kill you. It's simple. The enemy is there. The enemy is there not to be friends with you. You understand? The enemy is there to make sure that you're wiped out. So we should not be unintelligent about these things. We have 124,000 prophets in front of us. Don't look to any stupid philosopher or any thinker or any... no need. Look to our prophets. Look to the saints. These are the beloved ones of Allah. Allah is the owner of intelligence, not philosophers or books. Believe it or not, as you like, inshallah. Fatiha.